Hi everyone, my name is Jiro Duenez, and welcome to the behind-the-scenes look at the Logic. Welcome to the behind-the-scenes look at the Logic session behind Time, my latest single. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you've shown in the past couple weeks. It makes me really happy to be able to share what I've been working really hard for, and I'm excited to say that I have more music coming soon. If you haven't checked it out yet, I'll include a link in the description where you can find it. It's available on all streaming platforms, and every listen helps, so thank you. So I thought that we could start off by taking a look at the Logic session here and taking a look at about the first minute or so of the song and kind of delving into everything that's going on in just this first section. So let's go ahead and hit play. And the rain here is actually really important, but I'll get into that a little later. So right now we just have the introduction of the basic instrumentation. We just have guitar, bass, drums, and this section is just kind of letting the listener get a feel of what to expect for the rest of the song. Boom. And that is the most important part of the song, in my opinion, is just that first chord with all the vocal harmonies. I actually had a question about the vocal harmonies. My good buddy Jose asked me how I got the vocoder to sound like that. But to answer your question, Jose, it is not a vocoder. We can take a look at the audio files here. You can see I just have 7 audio files, 7 different layers of harmony going on. And originally, actually, I didn't have all those harmonies. I just had this lead line up here, and then a couple basic 3-part harmonies just going on to kind of support it. But then as I was listening to it, I thought, what if I could just pile more on and get really just a different sound with what's going on here? And then that led to having all these harmonies here, and then just having this big explosion of sound right in So thank you, Jose, for submitting your question. I think the chords that I'm singing there are just variations or different voicings of B minor 7, add 13, add 9, and then A major 7, add 9, 13. I think that's what's going on there, if I remember correctly. But going back a little bit to what I was saying about this being the pivotal moment in the song is for the first 30 seconds, it's just really mellow instrumentation. There's not a lot going on. It's really simple and it's easy to grasp. But then out of nowhere, there's just this huge explosion. These different sounds and colors. As a listener, you don't expect that. You kind of expect like a gradual build into what would ultimately become this explosion of harmony and color and sound. But starting off with that creates such an impact and destroys all expectations for the rest of the song, because immediately you're caught off guard. Like, I didn't see that coming. So then that begs the question, what comes next? So now that we've gone through the first verse and what I would say is the most pivotal part of the song with these harmonies, so now that we've broken listener expectations by putting this huge pivotal moment right at the beginning of the song, I could have kept building the sound and making it sound bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually I could resolve it. But that seemed kind of counterproductive to me. There's already so much going on. Why not give not only the song, but the listener a little room to breathe? And I thought, why not bring it back to the beginning? Because the beginning was this really mellow spot where the listener could relax and breathe and really get a feel for things. And so I brought it back to the beginning, but this time I introduced the piano part. And the piano part is another big moment in the song, because it's the first time in the song that I used panning. And the reason that is so important is because for the first part of the song, it was very focused on one point. There was only one spot where you had to listen and not a lot was going on. You didn't have to pay attention to things that were now going on around you. So this introduction of sounds coming from different directions just another piece in the puzzle that keeps the listener wondering, oh, where is he going to go with this next? Alright, second verse.
Love,
Here I took out the guitar.
it's such a fickle thing.
Yes. The whistling. Oh, I decided to put the whistling in there because it's just another element that you wouldn't expect. You know, when I was first producing this, I certainly didn't expect that I was gonna whistle on a song like this, but I just thought it was a cool element that I could add, and I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Fickle thing.
Oh yes, and here we're getting into some, what I like to call the 8-bit section right down here. There was no real inspiration behind that. I just love the way that that filter sounds, and I just thought it'd be another cool way to diverge listener expectations and say, here's something to kind of throw you off for a second. Yes. I'm normally not a fan of my guitar soloing, but I kind of dug this one. I think this solo is kind of cool because the longer it goes on, the more you hear it start to deteriorate, and especially right at the very end, once we get to it at the very end, you'll hear that I hit a couple of really sour notes. But that was completely on purpose because halfway through trying to get a decent guitar solo, I found myself really just getting sloppy and not really wanting to put in the effort anymore. But after doing that for a while, I thought maybe I could use that to my advantage. So about halfway through, when the chord progression changes of the bridge, you can kind of hear the solo start to deteriorate and lose a little bit of itself. And I really dig that sound, and I thought it worked very well with the transition into the final section of the song. And that brings us to the last verse. I have no idea what drove me to put an acoustic section here. The park sounds were actually here the entire time, even before this acoustic verse at the very right before this acoustic verse at the very end. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea really why I put this acoustic section here. I think when I was recording this, I got to the last verse, and I already had those park sounds there, but I got to the last verse and I thought, what am I gonna change here? What could I possibly do? It must have been 4 or 5 in the morning, and I had no idea what I was gonna do, and I just looked over and saw my acoustic was sitting there, and it was a sign, so just threw it in there and ended up really liking the way it turned out. I didn't do any sort of miking thing. I just put a sample I recorded of the Boston Commons, and then through it, just plugged in my guitar straight into the DI and recorded it. I ended up coming out with this, and I really like the way it turned out. So I got another question about the importance of the ambiance that's going on with the park sounds and the rain in the beginning. I wanted to save this for last because it's kind of the ending point of the entire song. When we're starting off here with the rain, I meant it to have this feeling of being indoors in the rain, just kind of sitting by the window, waiting for the rain to go away. And then by the time you're finished with the song, now all of a sudden you're in a park. You know, it's sunshine, there's people around, and I meant that to have the feeling of now that the song's over, time has passed, the sun's out, and we've finally reached our conclusion.
Well, life, it changes on a whim, and before you know, it'll all be gone.
Yes. We've finally reached the end of the song, and I think I've said all that I have to say about it. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching me talk for however long I've been talking. Your support means the world to me, and I cannot thank you enough for all of the love. I hope you are all safe and with people you love. These are really hard times that we're in, but if we just keep pushing, we can make it through, and eventually things will be okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.